Hi, today we discuss about the Apache Hive, the mostly widely used to process the MapReduce programs. As you are all aware that all MapReduce programs we can write in easily, even we used it to write in Java earlier, but because of the lengthy life cycle to write Java programs and the complexity involved in writing the Java programs, people slowly moved into the tools. So people are using Hive, Pig, all those type of school tools to write the MapReduce programs in spite of the lengthy Java programs, which give results fast and it is user friendly. Means it is easy to write, execute those scripts. So Hive is one of the tool that we can use to process the MapReduce apps. Here Hive use the HiveQL language. Many people feel it's SQL. No, but I agree it is similar to the SQL. So if you are aware of the SQL or if you feel it is easy to learn SQL, happily you can choose the Hive. No need to go to the Pig, no need to write the MapReduce programs in Java. It's almost similar to SQL, but there are some very small changes in between. But you remember the language we used is HQL and not SQL. There is the first thing. Next thing, what is Hive first? So Hive is simple. Hive is a data structure tool which is used to process structured data. Okay, as we discussed earlier, we have three types of data. One is structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. Okay. Hive is best used for structured data. Okay, so some people tell we can use unstructured, semi-structured. Might be it is true, but it is best used for the structured data. Structured data means right? Data in some structured format, data in rows and columns. For example, database. So mostly we save our data in the database, right? So all those data, Hive is the best used one. You can use Hive very easily if your data in a structured format or your data is in a database like MySQL, Oracle, and all those databases. So mostly Hadoop flows goes like this. Okay. When you do some of the transaction, when you means one customer or any type of this type of transactions are saved in the database tables. Okay. Like MySQL. And use the scoop tool to pull the data from MySQL to the HDFS, because scoop is the tool which is connected to the external system. Once come into the HDFS, then you can use your Hive, Pig or MapReduce in Java to do the MapReduce programs. So Hive works on top of the HDFS. That's the point I want to make it clear. Okay, it works on the top of the HDFS, and Hive is not an independent tool. Means not independent tool means it's a part of Hadoop ecosystem. Okay, some people are telling how you can use Hive without Hadoop, but that I don't agree with it. Okay. So that's how when we use Hive, when you speak those type of questions, many people are asking. Okay, it is easy. Your background is SQL. If you prefer SQL scripts, go for the Hive. Okay. If you feel SQL is not okay to you, or you want more easier user-friendly language, go to pick. This is not the only difference. We have some other differences also, but main difference is if you prefer SQL, go to Hive. If you prefer scripting, go to pick. And next difference I can say is if your data is in a structured format, Hive is best to use. If your data is unstructured or semi-structured, okay, then go to pick. Like if you want a permanent storage, go to Hive. Hive has its own meta store. When you create a table or when you load it, it simply goes and saves there. So, but pick, there is no permanent storage for pick. You need to create, you need to store. Forcibly, you need to store it. Okay. So both are used for the same thing, for MapReduce things. But if you clearly observe, there are some differences. These are the key differences between these two. This is widely asked questions in entries. What is the difference between Hive, Pig, when we can use Hive, when you can use Pig, those things. Okay. So then the next question generally people ask is how to work in Hive. We will come into the later. Okay. So when we can use Hive means we cannot use Hive for OLTP transactions. OLTP transactions means real-time transactions. Never fetch real-time transactions. As I explained earlier, in Hadoop flow, when data is stored in the database, okay, it moves data from MySQL to the HDFS. So in one word, it's a historical data, not a real-time data. Because we are moving historical data only, right? Yesterday data, last year data, one year data for our data analytics purpose. So that is yesterday data, that is historical data. So it's not a real-time data. So Hive is not used for OLTP transactions, online transactions, real-time transactions. It is used for OLAP transactions, analytical transactions. This is one of the cases where you can use Hive, and it is not used for OLTP transactions. Yeah, little confusing, OLTP and OLAP. In simple, OLTP is a real-time transactions, OLAP is a historical data. That's how we can see it. So how Hive works is a simple, just like SQL, you create a table and you load the data from HDFS. Okay. I know we can pull the data from local also, not local, from other source, HBase and those type of things, but don't go into that much details. Okay. Assume you have data in the HDFS. You want to do some analysis on it. So just to create a table in Hive, like how you create in the SQL, load it. Now we have a data in Hive. Then do the transformations, whatever you want. Okay. For example, you got one use case, like one use case means you take a simple use case. For example, you want to know the movies released last year. So you want to do some data analytics based on it. How many movies released in the last year? Based on it, you need to take summation. So assume this is a use case. Assume this is not an exact use case. Assume this is a use case. So for that, what you need to do is you need to create a table called movies. Load all the movies released till now in that Hive table. Then use some SQL type of for SQL means HiveQL query using some where class or is equal to class, get the movie released as per the requirement. Okay. just to store it. When you filter it or when you load it, it's automatically stored in the meta store. Go and get the data and give it to the data scientist people who do the further analysis to increase the efficiency. This is how generally Hive works. Okay, learning Hive is easy if you know SQL. Okay. Learning Hive is a little bit tough if you don't know SQL, but you can learn. Another factor is you can learn SQL easily. So if you're aware of SQL, directly you can start learning. Concepts you need to know. First thing is you need to know how to create Hive table. Next thing you need to know what is internal table, what is external table, what is the difference in between these two. Okay. So what happens if we delete internal table or external table? What is schema, metadata, or what is actual data, where it is saved, how it is saved, these things. And another beautiful concept is partitions and bucketing. So almost these are the definite questions if you really go for a Hadoop country, like what is internal, what is external, what is partition, what is bucketing, how it is stored in the actual meta store. All these things are very almost definite questions in the interviews. Partitions and bucketing, and one more, what is static partitions and what is dynamic partitions. So all those things are very important while working. Even it is important for interview point of view also. So what we will do is we will try to create a Hive table, load it. Let's just see what happens.